All right, good morning. So, Mr. Nicholas, probably just hand you back your um, Bad Specimen Night written production. Before you go through it, I want to explain to you the correction code I used to correct your exam. Then, using this, I want you to look at your production, look at the comments I made, the evaluation grid, and take the time to correct your text. Okay, because I will look at the corrected version too. Okay, so before we start, you will need your best friend, your everything you must know. So it's a video, so you can press pause and go get it. So I'm waiting for you. Okay, so I guess you're back. Okay, so grab a pencil, and first thing you'll do is go to the end of your booklet at this page that is called How to Do Your Correction Code. I'll tell you what the letters stand for, and then I'll explain to you what they mean. Okay, so C is for capital. Okay, P would be for punctuation, and PL is for plural. SP is for spelling. WW is for wrong word. Oops. VT is for verb tense. SV would be for subject, verb, agreement. And this is when there's a word missing. All right. So here I put three examples of sentences with mistakes in it. First, try to figure them out, and then that would be a way for me to explain to you what the code mean. Okay. So here the first sentence is why. Oopsie, just gave you the answer. Okay, it should be like this. So why you took notes. Okay, so this little symbol is here because there's something missing here in the sentence structure. So you guessed it because it was there just before. So it would be why did you took notes? But then if did is here, remember your little auxiliary takes all the conjugation. So it would be not why did you took notes, but why did you take notes. So that's why I wrote VT here because the verb tense was not correct. Well, it was at the past, but it was not conjugated correctly. Then here we have a P from punctuation because it's a question. So it's not why did you take notes? Period would be why did you take notes? Question mark. All right, second sentence is you was there when all the student saw him. So here we have SV for subject verb agreement. So the subject doesn't agree with the verb, okay? You would be were there when, then we have SP for spelling, so it's not written correctly. When is WHEN, all the students saw him. So all the students, so there were many students, so students should be PL for plural. All right, third sentence is Mr. Chong, see him too. He was on the school. So Mr. Chong sees for capital because it's a proper noun. So it should be Mr. Chong. See him, then the verb tense is not correct because um, you're talking about something that happened in the past. So Mr. Chong, see at the past would be saw. Him too. Here, the student mean like also. So in this case, it's not TO, it would be TOO. So now here the word was misspelled. Okay. And then he was on the school. Um, I don't think Mr. Chong hangs on the school, on the rooftop of the school. So here, probably the student meant out of the school or in the school or at the school. Okay. So here it's not a matter of spelling, it really is you did not use the correct word. All right, so this is it for the correction code. Now, most common mistakes, well, first thing you guys did a lot is not using the simple past. So remember, the whole production was about, it was for me to see if you understood how to use the simple past, and a lot of you did not conjugate the verb of the past. So make sure you write according to the instructions, okay? Um, Also, skip. Always skip a line, okay? So it's easier for me to write comments, okay? A lot of you used gonna. As I told you before, you can say gonna, but you cannot write it in a production. It's just like in French, you'll say je vais à l'école, but in your production, you will not write J apostrophe V-I-S. You will write je vais, okay, because it's more formal. So same thing here, gonna would be going to. Then third thing I noticed was you guys used infinitive. For example, Simon did not want to tell. Okay, so when you use to before a verb, this means you're using the verb at the infinitive. So the verb following to, I'm sorry, I just want to highlight this, should be at the base form. Okay, let me underline it. So here's what most of you did and shouldn't be doing. So Simon didn't want to told. Okay. So as I said, whenever you use to, then your verb is at the infinitive. Okay. So this is what you should not do. Okay. So this is it for most common mistakes. We might add few mistakes later in your upcoming written productions. Then, oops, this is not in order. These two pages just explains a little bit about, well, most of the thing I wrote here. But first off, so whenever you correct your text, make sure you look at your adjectives and now, so you verify if they're well conjugated. The past tense, okay, if you're using the correct tense in your text. Subject verb agreement, so verify if the subject is well conjugated with the verb, not the subject, but the verb is well conjugated with the subject. Then capital letter punctuation, structure of sentences. A lot of you made mistakes in the question structure. You need to remember you're allowed to use all your documents, all your resources. So take advantage of that. And then spelling, okay? When you will correct your text, I suggest you start with one thing at a time. So look for all the C's that I wrote in your written production, then all the P's, then all the PL, then all the SP, and all the VT, and so on. Okay. I think this is it. I think this is it. So, guys, you have my email address. Write me if there's anything I can do. And I totally miss you. Goodbye.